people want to label me far right. Would you be a friend of mine if I was far right?
Of course not.
What is frustrating is that a lot of the time it's sort of like white middle class wokies that will label me as racist or extreme or far right. I'm not a politician. I'm not a trained journalist. I'm just a normal bloke with a big mouth and maybe some balls.
Yeah.
You know, but it is getting me down, mate. And every day, heart sinks every time. Governments are there to represent us, to protect us, serve us. Governments are now controlling us and going against us.
Yeah.
Something's fundamentally wrong in this country with politics. And people ask, should I go into politics? Do I want to do that? No.
Absolutely
Why?
not.
Because I think it's rotten.
Today on the Daily Expresso, I'm sitting down with a man who has somehow become both the conscience and the megaphone of his community. Adam Brooks is not a politician. He's a bloke. He's a bloke from Essex. He's a dad who wants his kids to have a better, safer future. He wants women-only spaces. He fights to stop boys stabbing each other to death. To some, he's controversial. To others, he's simply brave. To me, he's just my mate. Adam Brooks, welcome to the Daily Expresso.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, let's start at the very top. The first time I heard about you a few years ago was because of Knives Down. So just to explain to the listeners, the viewers, what is Knives Down?
Well, Knives
what are you doing?
Look, it's a hashtag, it's a movement really that I just wanted to get behind. Obviously, I do Misfits boxing. They've got a younger audience of millions around the world and in this country. And I've got a 16-year-old boy, but when I started it, you know, he was 14 or so, and I'm petrified about him going out on the streets, maybe a knife being pulled on him. I've sat down, I've spoke to him, I've told him about my dad. I lost my dad through knife crime many years ago. So it means a lot to me. But really, this is born out of fear for my son and the future. And he tells me they're local boys that are nice boys, normal boys that are carrying knives. And obviously, you know, when we were young, you always had people that had pen knives and things. It's not like that anymore. It's machetes, zombie knives.
Yeah.
Some of the things they buy off the internet, swords. And yet we have judges that even if an adult is caught with a machete 2 or 3 times, they're not going to prison. So there's no deterrent. Look, I'm never going to change a gangster's mind to carry a weapon or a knife. But if I can change a 15-year-old boy or a 20-something-year-old boy that thinks it's cool or thinks he needs to, then great. And so, look, it's just about putting it out there, hashtag Knives Down. Have a little think, you know, what you're doing. The stats are out there. If you're carrying a knife, you're more than likely to be stabbed yourself. You're going to ruin your life, your family's life, the victim's life, if there is one. There's no upside in carrying a knife. And that's what I want to get out there. Use my hurt, because it is 30-odd years of hurt. Every day I still think about me dad. You know, I was robbed of a father, and I don't want that to happen to anyone else. And I don't want someone to bury their child. You know, they should be planning their weddings or, you know, their future, not their funeral. And that's really why I do it.
Well, talk to me about your dad. What exactly happened with him?
My dad was a publican. That's why I'm a publican. He was my hero. I lost him at 11. There was trouble in our pub. A week later, serious people came back and killed him.
With knives, with machetes?
Yeah. So, you know, for many years, my mum told me it was a car crash. Didn't really find out. And then a cousin let slip where it was. Then I started researching it. You know, I was a very angry teenager. It put me in a real bad place. And I don't think I got out of that bad place till maybe my 20s, even later. I think now everyone gets counselling for things. You know, they go and see or seek help, speak. I didn't have that. So it took me probably a couple of decades to get my head straight. Yeah. You know?
Some people say, or people assume, I suppose, that going through trauma as a young man, it makes you tougher. And how did it shape you?
Made me very angry.
Yeah.
Really angry. I think if I hadn't met my wife at 18, we met very young, then maybe I would have gone down a different path because I was just, you know, very angry and reckless. And I've always had that voice next to me, what you doing? Think what you're doing, you're not doing that. And I've listened, and we're still together. She's my best mate. We've got 3 lovely kids. But without a strong sort of partner, then I would have been in trouble. And my mum, you've met my mum.
Mm-hmm.
My mum's the best.
Yeah.
She was a guiding light for me, you know. So I'm lucky I've had good people around me.
Yeah.
Many of these kids on council estates or people that have had trauma don't have good people around them, and they go into, like, it's a death spiral.
Mm-hmm.
They go into violence.
Yeah.
They go into crime, machetes, you know, guns.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Did you ever find out who it was who murdered your father?
No, and I don't really want to speak about that. I've spoke on other podcasts. No, someone was arrested and let go, but you know, we've never had justice.
Okay. What can the political classes do? Because it does feel like any of the political leaders aren't really doing anything about knife crime.
Right. Look, if I was suddenly an advisor or put in a position of power today, I would increase stop and search.
Okay.
All right. I would, vastly increase stop and search, because I think that's a big deterrent.
Okay.
I would go into schools or try and get groups to go into schools and educate kids. I was never told at school what would happen if you broke the law. I was taught algebra and things that I'll never use.
Yeah.
But I was never educated on, if you do this wrong, you get 5 years in prison. Now, for me, I think every school kid should have to go to a prison or see a prison cell in their education, educate and scare them.
Yeah.
I mean, I had this idea the other day. I said, could someone mock me up a prison cell that you could take into a school with a bed and that, put each one in there and say, you're in there for 5-10 years if you do this crime. I think that would really hit home. Myself and Norman Brennan, who is a former police officer, is also a commentator on a few channels as well. We've worked together with Knives Down and tried to get a petition up and running for 5-year mandatory sentences if you're caught with a knife in public. 3 years for a juvenile. That would be a massive deterrent. We didn't get enough signatures, but we're going to relaunch that in the coming weeks. So for me, there has to be consequences. You know, if XY is over there and you tell him, look, you take out that machete, you're getting arrested, you're getting 5 years straight away. There's no chance of a liberal judge letting them off, because these judges do. Even second, third offence, they're not going away. And this is the thing that is so frustrating. We're getting people put away for words on the internet, not nice words, but words on the internet. And we're not getting people put away that are walking around with weapons that can kill you, can chop your head off.
Yeah.
What has happened to this country? And this, for me, is just common sense. And if I was an MP or a Prime Minister, I'd be sitting here thinking, right, our legal system's broken. We've got to somehow have a mandatory sentence where if you are carrying one of those, you're gone for 5 years, and you know that.
Yeah.
For me, that makes sense.
I think a lot of our viewers would agree with you on that, mate. I think they really would. Another area where you're quite vocal, or have been of late, Epping Forest.
Yeah.
The Epping Hotel, the Migrant Hotel, and your support of the Pink Ladies. Talk us through all of that.
Well, I got a phone call, I think it was in July, to say, Adam, a friend of a friend's daughter's just been sexually assaulted in Epping. I went, right. What, do I know him? They went, no, but it was from someone that was in the Bell Hotel. Now, this wasn't news at the time. So I rung round and made a few checks. A guy was arrested. Then I spoke to a couple of people that were put in touch with me that were witnesses. So I went down and reported it from the Bell Hotel, because obviously I've been a big voice in illegal immigration, and I think this asylum scam and scandal for many years. So I went down there, set up my tripod, did a video saying that there'd been a sexual assault of a young girl, and it went everywhere, mate. Went everywhere.
Yeah.
Then I was getting different news 2-3 days after, did 2 or 3 more videos. Mate, there was millions of views. And then suddenly, look, you've worked on GB News. GB News are great. They asked me what it was about, told them their investigative journalists got into it. They put it out there. Then it just went everywhere. The protests started. I mean, the early protests, there were thousands of people. It was hot. Summer protests, are a bit more fashionable.
Yeah.
But the anger locally was off the chart.
Mm-hmm.
We saw trouble. That wasn't locals. That was, and the police would even admit, that was social media whipped it up. And you was having people coming from 5-10 miles away to get social clips, streaming and whatever. But there was a lot of people from out the area, young kids, 16-year-olds, that see it as a day to come and bash the police.
Mm-hmm.
So what started off as a very powerful movement. So a lady called Orla, she works for reform at local level. I spoke to her. I said, look, these are great, these protests. I've got no say in them. I'm not organising them.
Mm-hmm.
People are just going to turn up. But we need to change the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, the women have got to take charge here a little bit. And credit to her and others that have come every week. They started wearing pink, sitting down in the road, started doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not orchestrating that. I was supporting them.
Yeah.
And again, that's gone everywhere. I mean, Elon Musk even tweeted about Epping.
Mm.
So, look, at the end of the day, we've got 135 unchecked, unverified foreign men in a hotel plonked 300 metres from a school. I'm invested in it. I live 2 miles away.
Yeah.
They can get taxis down to our high road. My daughters are young. My nieces both go to the school.
Mm-hmm.
Around the back of the Bell Hotel, if you go across the fields 300 metres, there's a school.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the girl that was sexually assaulted went to that school. My nieces go there. I'm not letting it go because for me as a father,
Mm-hmm.
I would want people to speak up for me if they had this platform.
Yeah.
And I've got the platform, like it or not. People don't have to like me, but only yesterday there was sentences for foreign nationals that had raped a young girl.
Yeah.
Very distressing. I won't go into the case. I know it's done, but it's every day almost. Today, a man has been charged. Every day on my Instagram, if you look on my Instagram, I'm posting someone charged, arrested, sentenced, foreign born. And it's all right. People going, oh yeah, the majority of rapes are white people in this country. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
It's a majority white country. I don't need to tell you that. Was it 84%?
Yeah.
If you go per capita and look into the stats, I think the Telegraph run with something where it was 1 in 4 sex crimes in 24 were by a foreign national.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that stat a lot. For me, that's a worrying thing. We're importing a rape epidemic, sexual assaults, paedophilia. I go on these, these online stings that they do.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, it's men that can just about speak English, if any.
Yeah.
Some have been here days, weeks, months.
Mm-hmm.
It's clearly a problem. And what people want to label me far right. Would you be a friend of mine if I was far right?
Of course not. Of course not.
And look, you introduced me at the start as your friend.
Mm-hmm.
If I was racist, would you say that? I don't think you would.
I know. Oh, no. I was going to say, if you're a racist, I would say you're a racist. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I know that from you. You don't mince, you don't mince your words. So what is frustrating is that a lot of the time, it's sort of like white middle-class wokies that will label me as racist or extreme or far right. Mm-hmm. Yet you're one of my many friends that are not white. It's nothing, you're not white. So I can say that.
Newsflash.
And you don't call me that. Why do these people have to label it? And for me, it's to shut us down.
Yeah.
It's to make me look like a bad person so the masses don't believe what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But the evidence that I'm putting out there every day, now another one I'm putting, and another one, tweeting it. It's undeniable, mate.
Yeah. So I guess on some of the protests, where like we the media will come down and film it, and we will see some guys there who live up to the stereotype of the angry British white guy. They got the skinhead, got the tattoos, and they're there fighting the police who are trying to just keep things calm. How do you stop those kind of people from infiltrating and ruining what it is you guys are trying to do?
You can't. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we're in a democracy where peaceful protest is a democratic right. Mm-hmm. So if people are angry and frustrated, they have every right to protest We've seen it on the streets of London with the pro-Palestinian lot. Every week they're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Many horrible things have been shown from those marches. I speak to people that have been on those marches. They're good people.
Yeah.
They believe in what they believe in. That's them. And I say to them, how can you stand near a sign that says that? Oh, we didn't see it. Or that they don't speak for us.
Yeah.
So people don't always label those, but they labelled Epping because of a few people that misbehave. Now, look, I was we're still protesting every Sunday, by the way. It's like 30 or so protests.
Yeah.
I've missed 3 from holiday and a family commitment. That's how committed I am. Cost me money, JJ. It costs me money.
Yeah.
I'm having to get people to stand in the pub, while I'm not there, or I'm missing other opportunities because I'm so passionate about this. And there was someone turned up with a lager can screaming and shouting. I went and had a word with him. I'm not an organiser. I don't, I'm no better than any of these people just because I do some media work.
Yeah.
I said, what are you doing? Because I couldn't stand there and me be tainted by someone shouting silly things.
Yeah.
Look, you're going to get people at protests. And, I think you also get people that want to infiltrate protests, whether it's on the left or the right, and make them look bad or cause trouble.
Yeah.
But people need to know the vast majority of people that are coming to Epping are against illegal immigration. These hotels are good people, working class people.
Yeah.
And they're getting labelled as far right. Our own Prime Minister, after the Axel Rudabkana episodes and riots, which were terrible. You don't attack police, you don't attack buildings. No one like me will ever defend that. Never. But to say that everyone that was going on those protests before it started into riots were racist and far right, I feel like he's labelled. And I think if you start looking at the polls, that was the beginning of his end, Keir Starmer. When you label good, honest people as extreme or far right, you've lost the country. And look, there might be some extreme people that turn up. We've spoke about that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, the vast majority of people, and I think even YouGov polling shows that people want this hotel crisis stopped and immigration curbed. What is our country going to look like in 10 years?
But then going off your argument there of saying that there's not every person on these riots or protests is a far right thug. Not every asylum seeker is a sex pest or a rapist. And
there's multiple videos of me outside. There's one from the summer where someone said something to me and I put it up and I said, look, even if 5%, 10%, 1% of these are very, very dangerous people, we've got a serious problem. 50,000 have come in illegally this year that we know about by boat. Many are coming in via lorry still, apparently. We know nothing about them. Look, 50,000, 10% is 5,000. 1% is 500. If there's 500 absolute lunatics, sex pests, violent people walking about Britain right now that we've just imported in the last year, that's a danger.
Yeah.
It takes one person to ruin a community. And this is when people go, oh, you're exaggerating. Look, we've had stats, and you can bend stats and data whatever way you like. But the stats I see, that maybe an Afghan man, we've seen a lot of Afghan rape, alleged rapes and convicted rapists over the last few months. The stats that I saw, I think it was from, I can't remember the source, was that an Afghan man is 22 times more likely to commit a rape or a sex crime.
Yeah.
Now, I think on one of the panels on the telly, on GB News, someone questioned me on that. And they said, no, because it's demographics, this, that. It's 3 times. And I looked and I went, thank you for admitting there's a problem. Because whether it's 3 times or 22 times, there's a serious problem. We're looking at culture differences.
Yeah.
You bring a man that is from maybe the mountains in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Never seen a woman uncovered. Suddenly you're plonking them in Epping. You've got schoolgirls that now, let's be honest, I've got an 12-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Sometimes she dresses up and I think, oh, you look so old.
Yeah.
But you've got 15-year-old girls that probably look 18, 19, but they're in school uniform. They're showing their legs, their arms, whatever. And they can't control themselves. And this is the problem. It's like putting a kid in a sweetie shop.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking around. They don't know what's hit them.
Yeah.
So they're also coming from different countries where women are not even treated as second-class citizens. They're third-class citizens or worse.
Mm.
You know, they're like a piece of dirt on their shoe.
Yeah.
You're dumping these people into hotels amongst women and wondering why women are getting, even if it's just harassed or intimidated. We're importing that.
Yeah.
You're also importing people from countries where child marriage is okay, or the majority of the people of those countries think there's no problem in that.
Yeah.
Now, if you're importing that without any checks on these people, that is a danger, the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone that says, oh, no, you're being racist, there's nothing wrong with Afghans, Pakistani, no, the majority, there won't be.
Mm-hmm.
But there are many, like we've seen with the Pakistani rape gangs, okay? People danced around the truth for many years and even tried to cover it up from low level to the highest level in government. And that's because they didn't want to seem racist or extreme in their response. And what happened through, tiptoeing around the race issue, it was allowed to carry on. And hundreds, thousands, if not tens of thousands of girls suffered at those gangs. And we're still seeing arrests. Yesterday there was an arrest as well. But we can't deport them to Pakistan.
Yeah.
So what sort of relationship do we have with a country where they won't accept back the bad people that they've allowed to come here or we've allowed in?
Yeah.
We shouldn't be giving them any foreign aid. We give Pakistan foreign aid. They've got nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
I think they've got a space program.
Yeah, they do.
We're giving them whatever, billions or hundreds of millions each year, and they won't take back the people that are destroying our communities.
Yeah.
It's a real messed up thing. Real messed up world.
When you look at Britain today, what words would you use to sum it up? Britain in 2025 is what?
Depressing.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I don't suffer from mental health. Never, like maybe I did as a kid. As I said, it was never diagnosed, but obviously I had a big problem. But I'm a strong person. Got a loving family. Ever had any problems in my life, I've sorted them out myself in my own head. Never spoke to no one. I think I'm strong, and I don't think I'll ever need counselling. Touch wood. But this is getting me down. Every day, I've put myself at the forefront with Epping. There are people looking at me. What? I get messaged. Why haven't you put this one up?
Yeah.
I'm getting sent footage from all over the country. Why haven't you put this up? Why? And I feel like it's quite a heavy burden on me at the minute. And I'm not a politician. I'm not a trained journalist.
Yeah.
I'm just a normal bloke with a big mouth and maybe some balls.
Yeah.
But it is getting me down, mate. And every day, just before we come here, I said to you out there, have you seen the latest one? And it's just heart sinks every time, because all the ones that are getting reported, there are ones that are not getting reported as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point.
And we've seen this week as well where there was a media restriction. We weren't allowed to know that they were migrants. They were, I think, described as local Leamington men.
Spa boys, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So how many of those are out there? Or someone told me as well, a lot of the time the media would, if they're told not to, they would put undisclosed address. Sometimes that would mean a migrant hotel to stop people wanting to target the hotels. Now, if you're worried about your media reporting the truth and that could cause riots or unrest, you've got a serious issue of governance and this country. And I've got to say, I'm not depressed for me. I'm not depressed really for my son. He's going out working in the world now. He's 16, working hard, and at college, I think he's got a big future. But my daughter, 6 and 12, if it's like this now, how bad is it going to be when my daughter's 17, 18, when my other daughter's growing up?
Yeah.
And the reason I do what I do, told you, I lose money through doing these protests, spending all my time on social media. I could be making money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's the right thing to do. And I can look at my daughters in the eyes in 10 years' time and say, look, I'm sorry the country's like this, whatever. Daddy tried.
Yeah.
I'm not a big voice, I don't think. I'm a voice. But if maybe more that had my platform decided to stand up, maybe more influential celebrities that weren't scared about brand deals
Yeah.
or whatever said, you know what? This guy's right. I know many of them.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, there's one guy that I would like to thank, and I think he was brave. And I actually wrote on the Instagram when I see it, this is one of the best interviews a celebrity has done in years. Rylan.
Okay. Well, because of what he said on This Morning.
I think he said what the majority of people were thinking. Okay?
Yes, but well, I will push back on that ever so slightly, because I think the difference is there with Ryland is the same the responsibilities I have to have. When you are, we're talking to a few 100,000 people now watching this and listening. What we say, you can say whatever your opinion is.
Yeah.
I've got to come back with the facts of the issue.
Yeah.
Ryland's on a TV show where he, as the presenter, has to produce facts, and what he said was factually incorrect.
What
now,
was
lots
factually
of
incorrect?
lots of people may agree with what he said. A lot of people may feel that that's what he's saying is correct, but actually factually,
What was factually wrong?
well, what did he say?
He spoke about the hotels and about people coming over here that we didn't know who they are.
And he said they're getting free meals and this.
They are getting free meals.
Now, the difference is that as asylum seekers, no matter what country they go to, any country that is in Europe and is part of the European Convention on Human Rights, they're treated the same. So it's not okay. I think he had said they were getting these hotels and then I'm having to pay anything, and they're getting 3 meals a day and they're getting this amount of money per week. And it's like, well, actually, the ones who get the 3 meals a day don't also get
Right.
the
So
money
can
per
I
week.
hit back?
Yeah.
Right. So I get this online. Listen, I have all the lefty arguments all day long. People say to me, asylum seekers don't get benefits. So then I list a roof over your head, free utilities, free internet, right? They get a phone, right? They get fed 3 times a day. They get free legal advice. They get, many times, free taxis. They get free access.
Free taxis to take them to
Right.
hospital
Right.
appointments, doctor
So-
appointments, but not free taxis to just
Right.
go out clubbing.
Right, okay. So they get free healthcare, free dentistry, and many of the time straight away. Some of the hotels actually have NHS people visiting there. So there are people in this country that cannot get appointments. If you're an asylum seeker in one of these hotels, there's every chance, not all the time, but you will get seen before a native Brit. Yeah, all those lists, and I could go on. They're not paying for clothes. They're not. So you tell me, are they not benefits?
Yes,
Right.
Yeah, but not by the way the government would
So
class
what money
what
would
is
they need?
benefits.
What money? You tell me. What money would
So
they
the
need?
money-
If my whole life they're not paying house insurance, they're not paying anything. What money do they need while they're in them hotels?
The only ones who get the money are the ones who are not being given 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
So those who are getting 3 meals a day are not getting then.
So they're getting enough to feed themselves, but they're getting a home. They're getting,
Yeah.
in some cases, they're getting 300 grand flats in Chelmsford or wherever. People, look, your viewers, this is the Express. Your viewers will be watching this thinking, well, I've got to live here in this place.
Absolutely.
And they're getting that. So let me just tell you a story, and I won't name her. And this is the sort of person I am. People can judge me whatever they like. If they don't like me, they don't like me. But I got a message early last week on my Instagram, didn't know her. Please, can you help me? I'm in council accommodation. I'm pregnant, 30-odd weeks pregnant, and loads of pictures, bugs, mattress with like horrible stains all over, curtain stains. I mean, disgraceful. And I looked at it. I thought, I can't ignore that. So I put, where are you? What's the situation? Blah, blah, blah. She said, can you help me? I said, I don't know. And without naming you, I can't really put it out there, but I'm going to try. Sent it to 2 local councillors. One a reform councillor near me and one an independent councillor. Both made calls straight away. Later that day, she was moved rooms. Right? So I was like, right. She sent me more pictures and a video. Flies everywhere. I mean, disgusting. My back's up because now I'm picturing asylum seekers playing pool, getting fed, buffets, some luxury flats and all like that. And you have got a 20-something-year-old girl crying on a voice note to me on direct message Instagram. So I spoke to the councillor again. I said, I'm not having this. We can't. And he was the same. This is disgraceful.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, they've got 2 hours before I nuke this all over the internet. Shame the council. The council have moved her.
Okay.
And from what I'm getting told, they've moved everyone that is out of that temporary accommodation because of the conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm in it for the money, that's a fun. I spent a whole day doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I care.
Mm-hmm.
And it then turns out I knew her dad, I knew her granddad. She was a local girl. But again, she was put 15 miles away, 10 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't have her family round her. If I can help people, I will. And I hope people know that. Yes, I'm gobby. Yes, I can be quite aggressive in my words when I've got a bee in my bonnet. Mm-hmm. But I will try and help people.
Listen, that woman's story is horrific, and there's millions of people in this country who are working and having to have their wages topped up with universal credit, and each month they're living check to check, and they're saying, well, you know what, kids, there's no holiday this year. Christmas, you're going to get no presents this year. But as long as we're together, that's all that matters. And of course, they're going to look on TV and they're going to see asylum seekers being given homes, being given hotel rooms, playing pool, having a disco and a partying. Yeah.
Right, so that one was RAF Wethersfield.
Yeah.
So I was sent a lot of those videos as well. I know one of the girls involved in the campaign against it.
Emma Parr?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's very good, by the way, lovely girl, right? She has kept me informed, told me about it. I spoke to her in Chelmsford the other week. They are bussing, I think it's dozens into Chelmsford every day. Mm-hmm. So they get a bus, free bus ride into Chelmsford. I went and spoke to local shopkeepers who said shoplifting's up. Mm-hmm. They said to me, women feel intimidated. Emma's told me that as well, women that wanted to speak out. So it's the behaviour of these men. We are creating our own problem. We are importing this problem. Mm-hmm. And it's people like me that are being demonised. And then people are calling her far right.
I mean, listen, I'll get demonised even just for having you on the show, mate. My lefty mate to be like, how dare you have him on? Yada, yada, yada.
Well, hopefully that if they watch this, they might change their mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully, look, I'm not apologising for my stance. Mm-hmm. When I get a bee in my bonnet, I go off on one.
Yeah.
But this whole argument is not about skin colour, not about religion. It's about what's right and wrong. Mm-hmm. And I said this, someone come up to me, funny enough, one of these stand up to racism people in the summer that turned up to the first 2 protests, somehow were allowed to come in, walk in and cause problems. And they was calling kids Nazis, right? And their placards, professionally made placards. And they said to me, you're racist just because those in there are brown. I went, if they was Ukrainian, Lithuanian or whatever, and we was getting rapes emanating from that hotel, I'd be here, and so would everyone else.
Yeah.
You're turning it into a race thing. And that our hand on heart, that is the truth. We've seen today, someone's just escaped, just before I come in here, a Lithuanian has been suspended sentence for sexually assaulting someone on a British Airways flight. We're giving suspended sentences for sexual assaults.
Yeah.
Okay? Lithuanian man, I'm guessing, white.
Yeah.
Okay? I've put that up on my social media. Come on. I report things like this. It's not just, I'm looking for migrant crimes. I'm looking for people that have got black skin, brown skin, or Muslims.
Yeah.
No. I want justice for women and girls.
You've pushed back against the narrative that multiculturalism has failed. Why do you think there are some people who want to push so heavily and say, oh no, multiculturalism has failed this country, we need to get everyone out?
Right, so I'm not of summer. I get attacked by the far right. Let's just think what actually the far right is in this country.
Yeah.
Right, a very small number, a few thousand at best. Let's put that out there. Okay. So when people go, oh, the far right were marching in London, there was probably a few thousand far right that are active in this country, right? And they
That's all right. We can beat that.
Yeah, beat that. They absolutely hate me.
Okay.
Because it's not about skin colour or religion or anything like that. This is about what's right and wrong and what's being imported. But when it comes to multiculturalism, I think we've allowed places like Birmingham, we've allowed places in Britain, places like Whitechapel. Okay, my family's from the East End. We've allowed people to come here over the last 15, 20 years and not assimilate. And it creates hubs. And I think that causes division. So when suddenly Whitechapel might be 60% non-white, or probably more. I've walked up Whitechapel and not heard anyone speak English while I've been there.
Yeah.
So you can't say that there isn't an erosion of British culture in some areas. That's a fact. You know, you can't label someone racist for saying, I didn't hear one person speak English. You know, or there wasn't a white face in the whole time I was in Whitechapel. That's not racist. It's an observation.
But you, as a Spurs fan, you'll know that Stamford Hill is a heavily Jewish area, Orthodox Jews.
Yeah.
I pass through that area all the time. I'm friends with the local rabbi around there.
Yeah.
I walk through there. It's all white faces, but it's all Jewish people.
Yeah. Look, I think it's all a problem.
Okay.
So again, this isn't, oh no, that area is predominantly Muslim. That's brown. I think we've failed to integrate.
Okay.
And I don't like these little enclaves of people that do not really live at all the British way. Now, look, if I went to Spain, I would try and learn the language. If I was going to move there, and I would.
I think you're one of the few Brits who would. There's plenty of expats over there who don't learn any Spanish, and they stay living clustered together.
I tell you what the problem is, maybe with that argument, is expats that go to Spain normally take a lot of money and contribute to the country, buy a property, pay their taxes, and live. What I feel like we have now is many areas, maybe like a Birmingham, where there are vast amounts of people that have come here, and then maybe their kids as well, and it is benefit street. And what can happen is that if it keeps going in this cycle, how are people going to pay for this? What are our taxes going to be like in 10, 15 years' time? If people that are coming to this country are not assimilating, not integrating, not working, it's a downward spiral. Again, you can try and spin that somehow as a racist thing, but all that's going to happen, and it's a fact, is our tax is going to go up. And at some point, enough people like my family are going to go, it's not safe, I can't afford these taxes, I'm gone. And I'm going to look for somewhere where I can. Enough of those people. Last year, I believe, it was 250,000 people left, emigrated.
Yeah.
Highest on record.
Yeah. But you know what I'd say to you, Adam, is I lived in Dubai for 5 years. I loved it over there. Safe.
Yeah.
Great healthcare if you could afford it. Great lifestyle. Good work balance. Dubai started to decline, in my opinion, when British people started moving there en masse. When it was a small amount of British people there, and the people from all over the world, it was fantastic. Now I'm seeing gangsters and drug dealers from the UK, ruffians from the UK now go to Dubai. Women who are getting on the airplane, they've got their hair in the curlers and they're in the velour tracksuits. They're the people going to Dubai now, and that's when Dubai for me started to go downhill.
Right. I couldn't speak on that. I've been there on holiday, but look,
I bet you were there in your velour tracksuit as well.
I know. Look, I love hot weather, but I think it was too hot. I went to a wedding there once in June.
Oh, blimey!
I've never been so hot in my life.
We leave Dubai in June, July time.
So I've been to Dubai a few times, and look, I'm not going to lie. We've had that discussion at home. If I could afford it, I can't.
Okay.
All right. Or if there was something out there, look, if there's anyone out in Dubai wants to pay me a few $100,000 a year, I'll go. No, look, it's for the safety. But this is a mad story. So I know a local Jewish couple, lovely, lovely people. He does property, he does well, lovely kids, and Jewish guys moved to the Middle East because he's scared for the safety of his children.
So he's moved to a Muslim country. A Jewish guy's moved to a Muslim country because he's scared for the safety of his children in a Christian country, the UK.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that a powerful story because
It
I
is
think
powerful.
I think that for me,
That shows you how broken this country is, mate.
there's a lot of people out there that are scared.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people. I would love, my dream would be to live in Mallorca.
Oh, whereabouts?
I like, so do you know like Palma Nova?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So I met my wife on a beach near Palma Nova in 1998. I was 18. She was 16. Okay. We've been together ever since. Got married there. Fortunate when I sold a business, we bought an apartment there.
Oh, nice.
Right next to her mum and dad.
Wonderful.
So the kids come out the balcony, they shout down to their nan and granddad. It's just a lovely place.
Yeah.
It's dead in the winter. There's no opportunity, so I don't know what my kids would do. But Palma's great,
Yeah.
like the city of Palma.
Do love Palma Cathedral.
Again, if I could somehow set up a business or earn money, something in Palma, I would give it a go, just for the safety
Yeah.
and that relaxed lifestyle. I'm 45 now. I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking 15, 20 years ahead. In
Yeah.
my 60s, I don't want to be in a pub
Yeah.
working this. I don't want to be ranting on the airwaves. So like every night I sort of sit there and think, how can I make that happen?
Yeah.
But I think at some point there might be a case with this country where I think, sod it, I'm going to have to take the gamble and hope that I get a job. You know,
Yeah.
hope that the savings last that year
Yeah.
or whatever, just because things are getting so bad. And that's not nice.
No.
When, you know, I was born in this country, so was, you know, as far as I'm aware, generations back from the East End. So I've probably got everything in me.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of everything.
Bit Turkish. Yeah.
I've probably got everything.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a shame, mate. And as you said about this country, I used the word depressing. Talking about it now, I'm depressed talking about it.
Yeah. Well, it's doubly hard for you because, as I say, you're a Spurs fan. So you must be depressed most of the time, mate.
But as I said, we won at the weekend, so you have that hope. What seems to happen with Tottenham is that we go on these bad runs and that. But the main thing about Tottenham, we won last year, and I was out there. It was great. The manager wasn't right for us at all. Even I know it sounds ridiculous to people outside of football. He won something, but I go every week. I've got a season ticket, and it was diabolical football, terrible.
Yeah.
And when you're paying to go, hard-earned money,
Yeah.
I take my little girl as well, and you're driving home in traffic, losing.
Yeah.
One cup doesn't really negate that.
Yeah.
And then this year it's been so up in the air, mate. You know.
When I talk about money, how hard is it for you as a publican to turn a profit under the Labour government?
Been quite vocal on this. Their first budget when was the first budget?
Last year.
Last November or whatever.
Yeah.
Or they announced it, and then it come in April. That cost me as a backstreet pub. That added about £25,000 to £30,000 extra to my costs. National insurance contributions. They reduced the rate relief quite substantially. The minimum wage went up.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not against paying people more.
Yeah.
But that money's got to be found from somewhere.
Yeah.
So another 25,000, let's say 25,000, be conservative. That worked out. I think I worked it out. I had to sell another 14,000 pints a year to cover that, because it's not just the 25,000. You have to take about 3 times that to do it. So already they made it harder. And let's not let off the Conservative government.
Okay.
They didn't support pubs, right? Especially not during COVID.
Yeah.
Like, they might have appealed to, but it was so wrong, a lot of the things they did. Lucky to survive. So this budget, I think I've worked out, is about another 15,000, right? So again, they've put up the minimum wage. Again, I don't mind people paying more, but what has to happen? We have to find that money. So what's happening again? Our prices are going up again. Cutting back shifts.
Yeah.
Maybe laying people off. How is that helping, the workers? How?
Yeah.
All right, you're getting another X amount, few p on your hourly rate.
Yeah.
But you've lost a shift.
Yeah.
You've lost your job.
Yeah.
That is being replicated up and down the country within hospitality. Hospitality, I think we've lost 110,000 jobs since the first budget. I think it'd be another 50 or 60,000 on the back of this budget when it all kicks in and everything. And then Rachel Reeves, it's my belly again. Rachel Reeves stood up in Parliament and said, we're helping hospitality, we're cutting, and the high street, we're cutting business rates.
Mm-hmm.
Lie. Or misinformation, because they knew that business rates were getting reevaluated. I think 76% of pubs are going up. I've seen some horror stories. Mine are going up 50%, by the way.
Right.
And they're reducing the relief.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not better off, right?
Okay.
We're worse off. And some pubs have had a 300 to 400% rise in business rates. They're gone. So let's just say, time you take out the relief and this and that, they were paying £2,500 a month for rates alone.
Mm-hmm.
There are pubs out there that are now paying £7,500 to £10,000 a month once this kicks in. Now they're saying it might not kick into 28, but they're done.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you've now got a pub that you can't sell it?
Yeah.
People are going to do their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're going to find that extra money? It's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
So unless they U-turn or have a crisis meeting and actually speak to experts in hospitality, I would like Sacha Lord to maybe go and have a meeting with the top brass of Labour. He was a Labour donor.
Okay.
He's now calling them out because he's saying what they're doing is just madness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for people that don't know who Sacha Lord is, he was a nighttime czar of Manchester, very close to the Manchester mayor. He was very vocal. Me and him are friends, by the way, so this proves, he was a Labour donor telling me, no, Labour are going to do this.
Yeah.
And now he is openly doing interviews, calling for them to change tact. They are destroying hospitality.
So would you say Rachel Reeves is a liar?
She misinformed.
Adam, we're being so soft for. Is she a liar or not?
For saying they're helping hospitality. Yeah, complete lie. So I'll tell you a story. I've said it before online, so it doesn't matter. I went to dinner with Angela Rayner and others.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with Sacha Lord about 3 years ago, knowing that they was going to come in power because the polls were showing that.
Yeah.
Conservatives were done. And they basically sat across the table to us, promising the world. We love hospitality. I used to work in pubs. I think Rachel Reeves said, they are the heartbeat of community. Labour will be different. They've been 10 times worse. So how can I believe a thing any politician really says?
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, I am with reform. Like, my support is to reform just because I want change.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe their immigration policies, I believe their business policies that they're putting out there, cutting taxes. We need to be radical.
Mm-hmm.
And the Uni Party are not going to do that.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm with reform. But would reform be my friends in government? No government's your friend. People need to remember that.
Okay.
Sacha Lord has realised that.
Yeah.
In with all the top brass of Labour, Labour donor, promised the world, now is actively calling them out. No government is your friend. Governments are there to represent us, to protect us, serve us. Governments are now controlling us and going against us.
Yeah.
Something's fundamentally wrong in this country with politics. And people ask, should I go into politics? Do I want to do that? No.
Absolutely
Why?
not.
Because I think it's rotten. And would I be the sort of person that, let's just say I was with Reform or with another party and they said, Adam, you've got to support that. And I didn't support that. Then I'm the type of person that goes, F you, sod that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. So I wouldn't last 5 minutes in politics.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't last 5 minutes.
Let's talk about men in women's spaces, because you're also very vocal about that as well.
And I have been for about 8 years.
Yeah.
So you know what really gets my back up online is when people go, oh, look, bandwagon. I've been one of the main voices on these things, immigration online and trans men in women's spaces for a long time.
Yeah.
But people like to go, oh, grifter, he's jumping on this. You can go back. I've got tweets from 2018, 2017 about trans competitors in women's sports saying it's dangerous. This is unfair.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know how we got to a point where science was ignored, where common sense was completely ignored, and those that were spouting science and common sense were demonised. Same with immigration. Yeah, it's the same with the trans debate. Because people are scared, because it's a trendy subject, It's trendy to be trans, in my opinion. It has become, America showed you that. We've got A-list celebrities in America with trans kids all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
The odds on that are off the charts. So that can't just happen. This is a trend, right? And it's a worrying trend because it's children. I spoke about children on other matters. For me, they're the future. They're everything that matters in this country. When you're telling kids that they can change gender, change sex, I think that's child abuse. And to have men in women's spaces, I'd have to control myself and show a lot of restraint if my daughter was in a toilet or a changing room and a man in a dress went in there.
Mm-hmm.
No violence, but I'd have to curb my mouth. I'd have to curb what I said and how I dealt with it, because again, there's numerous crimes that have been shown online where men have abused that position with children and women. The NHS nurses story, for me, it just...
The Darlington nurses?
Yeah, it just shows how mad this is. Women basically forced to have to change in the same room as a man that has got a penis, got his full genitalia. By the way, 95% plus of trans women, i.e. men, have still got their genitalia. We know what rape is.
Yeah.
You know, that they can still rape. And the Darlington nurses forced to change, and he has a woman
He's got
partner.
a wife,
They were trying for a baby. So are you telling me that that's fair for a woman to have to unchange next to a man that clearly finds women attractive and still has genitalia? That's madness.
Yeah.
And how the NHS ever got away with that, or is getting away with it, I haven't seen the latest updates. For me, it's all is what is wrong in this world. Common sense has to come back. And look, in women's sports, men have easily got an advantage. It's science, bone density, lung capacity. All right, you cannot start putting people that just declare that they're a woman in women's sports. We've seen it in weightlifting, in boxing, in different things. There's danger. It's unfair. Fairness and safety for women's sports. Sharon Davies is one of the biggest voices in this.
She's fantastic.
Met
Sharon
her a few
Davies.
times in the studio.
Yeah.
Take my hat off to her. She's campaigned for years on this. But if it wasn't for J.K. Rowling, this wouldn't have come to the spotlight as it has. She's uncancelable. She doesn't care. She's fearless. I don't think she's a bad person at all. Apparently, I think she's a lefty. She'd probably hate my politics. But I stand there with her with this fight.
Well, she's a bit like you in the sense that she's a lefty and the extreme left hate her.
Yeah.
You're a righty, but the extreme right hate you.
But it's her fearlessness on X. I've got to thank Elon Musk as well. People might not like some of his views or some of his behaviour.
He's a bit strange, Musk.
Right, but he's allowed X, or formerly Twitter, to grow free speech. And things...
I think it's worse since he took over.
I disagree.
Okay.
Again, as I said, with protest, there's always going to be extreme voices here and there. It's how you deal with them.
Well, he ain't dealing with them. People on X can say racist things, and they can do the end chain. You've seen that? That's one of the new things they started doing, the end chain, and they don't get kicked off. They don't get... People can report them, and the X, because they fired so many of the moderators who looked at those things. It's a cesspit now, X. So I'm not a fan of Musk. But continue. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Look, if it wasn't for that platform amplifying voices like J.K. Rowling, Sharon Davies,
Graham
Linehan, brave man. Met him a couple of times. Me being able to, little old me, publican, spouting about women's changing rooms and toilets, and being called a bigot, transphobe for wanting safety. Again, if I didn't have daughters, I'd probably shut my mouth, maybe.
I don't think you would.
No, maybe not. But I'm more persistent and more aggressive in my rhetoric because things have to change. And I think common sense has returned. A couple of things recently I thought, we're streeting with the puberty blocker trial. That's got to be stopped.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted in this government. I think there's a protest soon as well on that I will attend, because at the end of the day, children should not be experimented on. Puberty blockers are damaging. The science is clear now, even though people were trying to argue that. Even if there's a doubt, you don't give kids things that can damage them. There's a massive mental health problem and autism problem where doctors or parents don't know how to deal with the mental health or the autism, and the easiest thing is to put them into a gender clinic, and the easiest thing for those kids is just to suddenly declare that they're trans.
Yeah,
that's happened a lot. We see that in the CAS report, right? And that's a fact.
Yeah.
So when I say a lot of the trans issue is mental health, and people go, "How dare you?" It's the truth, right? And people don't like to hear the truth, like with other big topics. And I think now, since Donald Trump has come in and put his foot down on the nonsense with women's sports, women's toilets, changing rooms, the number of people identifying as trans has fell off a cliff. What does that tell you? Because it was trendy to be part of a different movement. And now that movement's being shut down because it was wrong. People are like, oh, what's the next movement? What can I identify or do next? So look, I feel like we're getting proved right on a lot of things, and that might hopefully change people's minds who maybe thought I was wrong on trans, wrong on immigration, wrong on other things, thinking actually these things are coming to light now. Maybe I didn't like how he said it, but he was right.
What would make you say, let's say in 10 years' time, what's going to make you turn around and say, you know what, I did it right by my family, I did it right by my country, I've done it right by my community?
If my community is safe, if I'm still in this country, if my daughters are happy and safe and I feel like they can go out and enjoy themselves, in 10 years' time, my daughter will be in her 20s. Hopefully the world is a better place in 10 years' time for her. I just want safe streets, where it comes from the Knives Down movement that we're doing. Hopefully, reformer behind mandatory sentences, reformer behind a lot of the knife crime things that I've spoke about. Lee Anderson's been great, called a debate in Parliament on knife crime. So I feel like if reform got in 3 years' time, it's going to take them a few years, but I feel like we will be in safer streets. Hopefully the immigration problem has been sorted and the crime that's emanating from these hotels and the people coming over. Reform, I don't think, are ever going to pander to the trans movement. And that is a danger to young girls and my daughters, because we don't want men in their spaces. My daughter's a good little footballer. She's a dancer. I don't want her to lose a place or a medal to a man or a boy. I just, 10 years' time, I just want to be content, happy with my wife, happy with my kids, and doing my own thing. I don't really want to be ranting and putting all this energy into this, because it is draining.
I'll tell you what, mate, it is. But I'm glad you were able to drain yourself today.
No, I've enjoyed this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Adam Brooks.
Take care.
Well, let me know what you think about that interview. And if you have any questions for Adam, leave them in the comments. We'll get him back on again. He can answer them all for you. From me, it's bye-bye. Thank you for watching The Daily Expresso.